It is a continuation to the first with the video class, the vascular tissues. The xylem and phloem collectively what do you call vascular tissue. The vascular tissues are present in the group of the plants, what do you call the tracheophyte. So what are tracheophyte? Pteridophyte, gymnosperm and angiosperm. The primitive tracheophytes are pteridophytes. Advanced tracheophytes are gymnosperms and angiosperm. In gymnosperm and angiosperm, much advanced it is angiosperm. So gymnosperm, angiosperms which are spermatophyte. So primitive spermatophytic tracheophyte is gymnosperm. Advanced spermatophytic tracheophyte is angiosperm. Next, it is xylem. Xylem concerns the conduction of water and minerals from root to shoot against gravitation. What do you call ascent of sap, upward direction. Xylem is composed of trachea, xylem parenchyma, xylem fibers. And if it is the tracheids are present in pteridophyte and gymnosperm. The tracheids, which is elongated tube-like, walls are thickened with lignin, and lignin deposited in various form. Spring-like, it is spiral, and ring-like, it is annular, and net-like, it is reticulate, ladder-like, it is calariform. So, in various form, lignin it is deposited. It is imperforated end walls. Next, vessel. Vessel, otherwise what do you call the trachea? So, vessel is made up of many vessel elements. The cross wall between them vessel element dissolved and a common perforation at their common end walls. So, when compared to the trachea, it is having wider lumen. Walls are deposited in various forms like that of it is the trachea, and vessels which are advanced water conducting cells. So, in angiosperm, it is having trachea as well as the vessels. Next, xylem parenchyma. The only the living tissue associated with the xylem, it is xylem parenchyma. So, xylem parenchyma is rectangular, vacuolated, nucleated the cytoplasm. Walls, it is having cellulosic walls. It stores food like starch or fat and other secondary metabolites like it is the tannins. And this parenchyma present in longitudinal rows in primary plant body, what we call axial parenchyma. In secondary plant body, it is having longitudinal rows as well as the radial rows, axial as well as ray parenchyma. Next, xylem fibers. Xylem fibers, which are sclerenchymatous, so which are unbranched, elongated, and lignified walls. Obliterated lumen is present. When lumen is present, but it is highly lignified. That's why calling it as obliterated lumen refers to xylem fiber. It may be septate or otherwise it is aseptate. So, xylem fiber is septate or aseptate having obliterated lumen with highly lignified walls. So, trachea, xylem parenchyma, xylem fibers. And in case of the primary plant body, the procambium is responsible for giving primary xylem and primary phloem. So, first formed xylem in primary plant body is primary xylem. First formed primary xylem is protoxylem. If protoxylem facing periphery outside, what do you call it is exarch. This condition present in all roots, dicot and monocot. If protoxylem facing center towards medulla, that is called endarch. Endarch present in all stem, dicot as well as monocot. So, protoxylem with small lumina, metaxylem with wider lumina. So, primary xylem into protoxylem and metaxylem. First formed primary xylem is protoxylem. Next formed primary xylem it is metaxylem. Next, the phloem. The living tissue concerned with the conduction of the food materials from leaves to various spots is the phloem. And phloem in general, it is a living tissue except phloem fiber. So components in case of the phloem which are sieve tube, companion cell, phloem parenchyma, phloem fiber. All are living except phloem fiber. Next, sieve tube. Sieve tube it is the cylindrical, the tube-like structure, largest cells of the phloem which are the sieve tube present in case of angiosperm. And walls of the sieve tube which are cellulosic, it is going to be elastic. And mature sieve tube having a large vacuole without any nucleus. So mature sieve tube is living without any nucleus, having peripheral cytoplasm. So the function of the nucleus is taken over by the companion cell. The specialized parenchymatous cell associated with the sieve tube or companion cells. So companion cells are always associated with the sieve tube. The companion cells are characterized by vacuolated nucleated cytoplasm. In a common longitudinal wall of companion cell and sieve tube cell having pit fields. And companion cell maintain pressure gradient in sieve tube. So what are pressure gradient? As mesophyll cell prepare the food, that is the glucose, that is converted into sucrose, and it is going to deposit in sieve tube via companion cell. So pressure gradients are maintained by companion cell. Pressure gradients are maintained in sieve tube due to flow of sugars. So companion cell retain the nucleus up to the maturity. And companion cells are present in angiosperm. Instead of companion cells in case of pteridophyte and gymnosperm, albuminous cells which are present. So sieve tube and a companion cell. In gymnosperm, companion cells are absent. The reason it is sieve tubes which are absent. If sieve tubes are present, there must be a companion cell. Because in angiosperm, sieve tubes are present, automatically companion cells are also present. Because companion cell, sieve tube cell arises from common meristematic cell. That's why companion cell are always associated with the sieve tube. Next, phloem parenchyma. The parenchyma associated with the phloem, it is the phloem parenchyma. It is elongated, cylindrical, tapering. So lengthwise it is elongated, widthwise it is cylindrical, polarized ends are tapering. So elongated, cylindrical with the tapering ends are phloem parenchyma. Adjacent phloem parenchyma communicated through pits. So the sieve tube elements are separated by sieve plate having sieve pores. Companion cell and sieve tube having a common longitudinal wall having it is the pit fields. The adjacent phloem parenchyma having pits. So parenchyma, adjacent parenchyma communicated through pits. Cytoplasmic strand extend through pits. The sieve tube and companion cells are communicated through pit fields. Adjacent sieve tube elements are communicated through cytoplasmic strand extend through sieve pores of sieve plate. And this phloem parenchyma absent in most of monocot. Parenchyma absent in monocot, that is going to be the wrong. Parenchyma present, but in most of the monocot, phloem parenchyma is absent. Next, the phloem parenchyma stores food like starch, fat, and secondary metabolites like it is resin, the mucilage, and also latex. And phloem parenchyma present in primary plant body is in a longitudinal row, what we call axial parenchyma. And this phloem parenchyma, in case of secondary plant body in axial row as well as radial rows, what we call it is ray parenchyma. So in secondary plant body, axial as well as ray parenchyma. Next, the first formed phloem is primary phloem. First formed primary phloem with a narrow sieve tube is protophlloem. With a wider sieve tube is metaphloem. So in this the key points which are pressure gradients are maintained in sieve tube, maintained by companion cell due to flow of sugars from mesophyll via companion cell into sieve tube. Pit fields are present in sieve tube and companion longitudinal wall, pits in between adjacent to phloem parenchyma, and sieve plate in case of, that is the sieve tube elements which are joined through what is the sieve plate having sieve pores like this. Next, we go for the tissue system. The kinds of cells decide the kinds of the tissues. Based on the function of the tissue depends upon the structure and the location. And based on the structure and location, the tissues which are divided into epidermal tissue, ground tissue, and vascular tissue. In case of root apex and shoot apex, specialized regions of the root apex and shoot apical meristem which are protoderm, that is going to give epidermis, ground meristem, that is going to give ground tissue, and prochamium, that is going to give vascular tissues. And in case of epidermal tissue system, having epidermis, stomata, epidermal appendages. Epidermis. So, it is parenchymatous. Cells are compactly present and it is elongated, narrow and it is elongated. Walls are cutinized and forms a layer called cuticle. Root epidermis is without a cuticle. So, epidermis formed by, it is differentiation. So, epidermal cells which are parenchymatous. Next. And this epidermis generally it is uniciliate. That means you do expect the multiciliate epidermis in case of xerophyte. And stomata, the minute pores in case of epidermis, what do you call it is stomata. And the stomata having a pore, what do you call stomatal aperture, and surrounded by a specialized cells, what do you call the God cell. God cell in turn surrounded by subsidiary or otherwise accessory cells, and in turn surrounded by a common epidermal cell. Stroma, that is aperture, God cell, subsidiary cell, together constitute stomatal apparatus or stomatal complex. All cells of epidermis are colorless except God cell. God cell regulate opening and closure of stomata. God cell perform photosynthesis. Kidney or bean-shaped God cell in dicot. Dumbbell-shaped God cell in monocot, that is in case of grasses. Next, epidermal appendages. The epidermal appendages which are root hairs as well as the trichome. Root hairs which are unicellular, it is not uniciliate or multiciliate, it is unicellular, thin-walled, prolongation or elongation or distension of epidermal cell. It is not uniciliate, not multiciliate, not it is branched. It is unicellular. So that's why the root epidermis it is considered to be epiblema or piliferous layer. So root hair concerned with absorption of water and minerals. In overall function of the epidermis, it is concerned with, it is giving protection by having stomata exchange of gases and transpiration. The root hairs in case of root epidermis, it is concerned with absorption of water and mineral. In case of the dicot stem and dicot leaf, the multicellular growth, what do you call it is the trichome, which may be branched or unbranched, stiff or soft, even it is secretory, that is glandular, what do you call trichome. So multicellular hairs, what do you call it is the trichome. Next. In case of ground tissue system, except epidermis and vascular tissue system, remaining thing it is a ground tissue system. We may expect parenchyma, cholenchyma, sclerenchyma in case of dicot stem. And we may expect a parenchyma or cholenchyma or it is sclerenchyma. So, ground tissue constituted by parenchyma, cholenchyma, sclerenchyma, present in pericycle, medulla, medullary rays, and conjunctive tissue, all constitute what it is the ground tissue system. And it is divided into extrastellar and it is intrastellar. Next, vascular tissue system. The xylem and phloem collectively it is vascular tissue, constitute a bundle, what do you call it is vascular bundle. In case of the root, xylem and phloem present on different radii, what do you call it is radial vascular bundle or alternate, present in all root. So radial vascular bundle, alternate, present in case of all root. If xylem and phloem are the same radius, what do you call collateral? They are joined, what do you call it is conjoint. So collateral conjoint vascular bundles are present in dicot stem, monocot stem, dicot leaf, monocot leaf. In between xylem and phloem, there is a cambium that is going to give xylem and phloem. The vascular bundle is said to be open. So collateral conjoint open vascular bundles are present in dicot stem. Collateral conjoint closed vascular bundles are present in monocot stem, dicot leaf, monocot leaf. So in these vascular bundle in between the xylem and phloem, it does not have any cambium. So overall radial vascular bundles in all root, collateral conjoint open present in dicot stem, collateral conjoint closed present in monocot stem, dicot leaf and monocot leaf. These are the vascular bundles.